There's been two things that have absolutely been killing my ambition this week, and I'm pretty sure that some of these are going to resonate with you. The first thing that I want to talk about tonight is I believe that if you do not keep the little promises that you make to yourself all of the time, we all make those promises to ourselves. If we do not keep those promises, our mind is always keeping score. If I tell myself there's 8 habits that I am going to do every day, and then I don't do those habits, my mind is keeping score, and it's like, you said you're going to do this and you didn't do it. Your own belief in yourself and your ability to execute a plan really starts to go downhill very fast when you don't believe in the plan that you have and that you have the ability to execute it. Your ambition goes way down. At least it does for me. It really makes sense because we never like to be around the people that say they're going to do all of these things and then they don't do them. If people say, I'm going to show up at 9:30 in the morning at your house and pick you up to go here or to go there, and then they don't show up at 9:30, and at 9:45 they text you and say, oh, sorry, I need to reschedule. We got to go do something else. We don't like being around people like that. We might let them do that to us once, maybe twice. By the third time, we're just like, you know what? I love you and everything, but just skip it. And so if we're not keeping these little promises to ourselves, I personally start to resent myself. I start to resent the person that I am, the person that cannot follow through on a plan. Nobody's perfect, and so we're always going to make mistakes. But if we do that every single day, that say we're going to do something and then don't do it, we start to not even believe that we have the ability to execute a plan. From there, it's just kind of like downhill with the ambition. We're just like, you know what? What's the use? Not even going to try at this point. We'll just let it go and we'll settle for something less. And so that's the first thing that I think kills my ambition all the time. And the reason I've been thinking about these things is because I have been doing these things the last week. I made a video very recently about how I'm exhausted, I'm done, I'm so sick and tired of the grind, of the habits, of whatever I'm trying to do, whatever I'm trying to build, which, if you can see, here on Monday and Tuesday, I got pretty much none of my habits done. None of them. And so that right there is an ambition killer. Very quick. The second thing is trying to kind of like prolong the time that it takes for you to make a decision. I have to make decisions quickly. Some decisions do carry a little bit more weight than others. And so maybe you should stop and put some more time and think about it. But you need to think about it. You need to use the best knowledge and the best wisdom that you have. Maybe you ask a friend, maybe you ask a trusted colleague, what's your opinion on this? Here's my situation. What do you think? But then make that decision. Now, this is me just speaking out of my own personal experience. Maybe you guys don't have this at all in any way, shape, or form. But for me, what I've been doing recently is there's been a decision that I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about this decision and I have not made it until today. And the decision was I used to work in the financial industry. I actually left that, which that was working for myself. I was self-employed at that point. I came from that and I came to a job, a J-O-B job, 10 o'clock in the morning to 6:30 at night, a job. 5 days a week, you gotta be there, you gotta be on the phones, you gotta be making sales. And so going from being self-employed to a job, comes with a lot of downsides. There's some upsides as well. I've got a lot to be grateful for, and I am grateful for those things. But there's always this thing in my mind of like, I want to work for myself again. I want to be self-employed. I want to make my own schedule. I want to do all of these things, and I've just been rolling these things around in my head. And they roll around in my head and roll around in my head. And I actually had this opportunity. Somebody approached me and said, we would love to help you market some financial services, some financial products. And they had this whole presentation that they were going to do for me, and all of that ended up not happening. But this whole week, this whole time that we had this meeting scheduled, I'm sitting there thinking, am I going to do this or am I going to stick with what I have? Maybe I could like split the time and I could do half of my time here and the other half of my time here. And maybe I could get something rolling there and then jump over into that ship and then like work for myself again after I get things rolling, get the momentum built. Am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? Am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? I just kept hopping back and forth, and I did not make a decision that yes, I am going to do it, or no, I am not going to do it. And so this has just been rolling around in my head for like a week. It has absolutely been driving me crazy, because if you give your mind a question, your mind is a question answering machine. And if you give it a question, you are going to be sitting there thinking about and trying to solve that question until you make that decision. And I wasn't making that decision. I was like prolonging it. I was pushing it out. I was like, I need to think about it. I need to see this presentation. I need to meet these guys. I need to consider my options. I need to do some more research. I need to be 100% sure on this or that or the other thing. And I just didn't make a decision. And finally today, maybe we'll go through this some other time, but I really felt that God led me from that financial services business to the job that I'm at now. And I really was not feeling a call. I really was not feeling a direction. I really wasn't feeling that God was leading me back out of that job, telling me to go work for myself again. And so today I was like, you know what? I am going to be here at my sales job, working for somebody else. I'm going to be here until I feel God lead me to go somewhere else. I made that decision this morning. I was supposed to meet with this marketing agency, and they were going to tell me how to run my marketing, and they were going to help me get my clients and make sure they're the right people to talk to. And they were going to do all this stuff with me and help me integrate AI and all of that into my marketing. The meeting didn't happen. That's not why I'm choosing not to do this, but the meeting just didn't happen. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm so sick and tired of trying to figure this out. So sick and tired of trying to make this decision of, yes, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to like plunge full speed ahead into it. I'm just not going to do it. I got so tired of just like sitting on the fence that I just made the decision. You know what? I don't feel like God's leading me out of this, so I am not going to do it. And so I made that decision, and I just feel a lot better now. I don't have to roll that stuff around in my head. I don't have to make that decision now. There's issues that I see in the future with a job, and I can think about those. Am I going to have time to go to my son's basketball games or baseball games or football games? Or that's where working for myself would be very, very handy. I've rolled a lot of those things around in my head as well. That's one of the main reasons why I would want to go and work for myself. But I have not actually dealt with that situation yet. My son hasn't played any basketball or any baseball. I haven't run into any scheduling conflicts that are like, oh, I can't be there for my son just because I have to be at work. I haven't run into that, so I just need to stop worrying about it. I just need to look at what is facing me today. What is the issue? How can I be the best version of me? How can I honor God where I'm at? And how can I push full steam ahead and make the most of this situation? And the two things that are really keeping me from making the best of any situation is not keeping my promises to myself, not making decisions very quickly. If I do those two things, if I just stop keeping the promises and I just make decisions slow and kind of prolong them and draw them out, my ambition goes straight off of a cliff, straight down to the bottom of a canyon. And that's what happened this week. And so I just wanted to get on here and I wanted to share these little insights that I've been thinking about all week. I've been rolling this around in my head. Why don't I feel very much ambition? It's because I've been making decisions slowly and not keeping the promises to myself. I don't trust myself. You know what? If you guys like this type of content, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. We will be seeing a lot more of you guys very, very soon. Be well. Go out there. Let's make something happen. Onward. I'm so sorry. I just washed my hair and there's water coming down all the time.